just at some point grabs the boy by his hole in his collar and said, "Here, let me just finish ripping this for you." Hey everyone, it's Chantelly. Happy Easter. So my story time for today is not really Easter related, but it's just a nice, fun spring story. Let's see. The one I want to tell you guys about is another 7th grade story. I've told you some other stories about 7th grade before. So my homeroom class in 7th grade, I had the worst seat in class. My desk and chair was directly below the pencil sharpener. So every time someone would come over to sharpen their pencils, I always had to kind of like scoot up or lean or even get up to move out of my seat so they could sharpen their pencils. So it was like study hall period of class where we were working on homework and everybody's just kind of being quiet, kind of whispering or talking a little bit to their friends around them, but not a whole group class discussion. And this boy comes over. Let's see, what do we want to call him? I can't think of a name right now to replace his real name, so it's not important. So he comes up to sharpen his pencil, and I'm trying to lean, to get out of the way, and immediately he just starts being rude. And so he sharpened his pencil. I sit back down when he's done, and he returns, and he repeats the cycle like 2 to 3 times. So I'm like, bruh, because I'm trying to get my work finished. And on the 3rd round, I just went ahead and sit down because at this point you're playing with me. And he ends up blowing the pencil sharpenings into my hair.
Bitch, I know you fucking lied.
So that's a no-no. So immediately when I turn back to check him, all of a sudden my friend, and we'll call him Jamal, he already was there to handle it. So I didn't even have a chance to like say anything. He just comes over and he's like, how are you gonna treat a girl like that? You don't blow pencil sharpening into a girl's hair. What are you thinking? And so they started arguing, and I just kind of like moved out of the way to let them handle it. And they start roasting each other, going back and forth. And it was funny because Jamal, he's not one of those to name call or anything like that. He just was very observant. So he just kind of was like looking at everything. And we noticed something. So the boy that was sharpening his pencil, and this is probably another reason why I don't want to say his name, because if I give too many details, someone might remember who this is. But basically, he had a habit of always biting his shirt. That was his little thing. And so this particular day, he had a wet spot in his collar part of his shirt, and not just a wet spot but like a rip. So he had been biting on his shirt so much that there was a hole there, a rip. And so Jamal, as he's like arguing with them and it's getting kind of elevated, he just at some point grabs the boy by his hole in his collar and said, "Here, let me just finish ripping this for you." And that was just, oh my gosh, that was funny. A few people that were around, kind of heard that and started laughing. And of course the teacher by that point figured out what was going on and broke them up. And that was the end of that. So that was just funny that Jamal kind of stepped up for me that day. So basically this story is actually going to be more about Jamal than specifically 7th grade. Just little funny things that would happen to us in class. So next, music class. We all had to get into groups and we were learning about Motown. So we were doing we had kept doing the different decades. So I think this decade was the 60s and we're learning about Motown. And so for your groups, you would pick a song and perform it. And so I wasn't in Jamal's group, but I remember their performance the best because they did the Supremes, and it was, let me see, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and I don't know, a few more songs. I think we had to perform 3 to 4 songs, but I just remember like for their performance, the part like for Diana Ross's part, you know, when the girls are singing, Jamal, he was so smooth about it. He had the moves down. He must have went and studied like the Temptations or one of those movies or something, but he was like doing the moves and getting it down. He did this little move with his hands, and I was just like, wow. You know, I remember noticing that when you watch the VH1 movies. So anyway, he's stepping forward, doing his moves, but then at one point he just turns and did a little shimmy, and it was like, what? That part just came out of nowhere or whatever it is, but it lightened the mood. He was one of those that just always lightened the mood, whether it's a serious or a sad moment. He just had that thing about him that lightened the mood, so he made 7th grade like awesome. So anyway, this was a short story time. It's just a little quick snippet about one of my first best friends / crushes from 7th grade. In the comments, leave a comment about your first crush, or maybe a 7th grade memory, funny moment, or even Easter, you know. Tell me one of your favorite Easter memories. But I hope you enjoyed this story time. I'll see you next time. Tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and click like. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and go ahead and click the notification bell so you can be aware of every time I make new videos. Dream guy. Chantelli.